Hello, my friends. I hope you are well today. I am not as fucked up color wise as the light would have you believe, but lighting's a bitch. So this is what we've got. I hope everybody is doing well today. No worries, Jay from Michigan. You know, the beauty about the internet is that we can come and go, and because we have such a big team of family and friends, we can pick up the slack. Vicky, I missed you too. Hi, Jukebox, Cherry. Courtney, of course, Lisa Figalicious, Beverly Bradford, Iowa. Thank you for being here. Jonathan Hart. How is Florida today? It's a bit overcast with the door, but oh, thank you. I just did them. Sometimes, like, I don't want to sound full of myself because I'm not good at makeup. I'm really not. I have one style that I know how to do. But sometimes it just goes on proper on one side, and you're like, it went on. And then sometimes it doesn't. Okay, let me scroll to the top. Oh, okay. So we have Cherry, Jonathan, Vicky, Credence, and Mikey. Hi, Mikey. Happy Sunday. Vicky, I said that. Beverly came in. Jay from Michigan. Oh, I got everybody. Don't miss anybody. Sorry. Oh, Melanie's here. Hi, Melanie Copeland. You changed your profile picture. I'm sure I've mentioned that. It's funny how that pops into my head every time. But the weather today is not as nice. Oh, I'm so glad you can charge your phone, Bev. What's going on? Why are you out of power? Beverly's noticed that she's out of power. She noticed that. Like as if we all wouldn't notice right away. Also, does anybody want to guess how much this dress cost? We'll do the game where we guess my dress. Guess the cost of the dress, ladies and gentlemen. Also, I got my nails redone. I'm a bit of a diva, I guess, but they are super cute. And I got an accent nail this time that is a little more clear and pretty. I love the color. Courtney says $69.99. Vicky says $10. And we'll just be honest, it's American dollars. I won't even do the conversion here, but it is American dollars. Also, I saw Iowa says 15, hoping it was on sale. Jay from Michigan has no idea. First of all, I'll stand up a little bit without fucking up the whole shot and having to rearrange it. But it is a long dress all the way down to my ankles, I suppose. Oh, thank you, Melanie. Missed you too. I mean, it's only been 2 days. Yeah, see, they're very, very pretty. You have partial power. Okay. Is it an, I guess this is a maxi dress? I don't know. Oh God, Lisa, don't even mention that to me. I drop phones left, right, and center. So please, I don't want to send you any of my phone mojo. I think it is a maxi dress though. And I really like it. I like the pattern. I like the red. I'm imagining I could wear it backwards with that side out too. Actually, I might even just switch it right now. But and it's like, you know, the fabric that's not is creaseable. It's not going to crease. It'll just stay sort of back. I'm sure it's some sort of chemical that is not good. Oh, Lisa, you're so sweet. Okay, well, here's the truth, guys. This dress cost $2.99. I don't know how. $2.99. Right? Like, what? Like, I was like, yeah, I will take that. That's how much this ring cost, too. No, it was not on Temu, whatever that's called. I've heard about Temu, but we don't have it. Or I've never ordered from it. But no, it was in a store with overhead. I was like, okay, sure. Maybe it fell off the back of a truck somewhere, you know? That's what my dad would say in Scotland. Like, it fell off the back of a truck, Paisley. You don't ask. Don't ask what truck. In Scotland, there used to be this like market called the Barras or the Barras, and it was like where all the stolen goods go. Ooh, Iowa, you helped out with the garage sale yesterday. Got a bunch of animal print tops. Love it. Cooking pans for your youngest daughter. Perfect. And 6 books for less than 20 bucks. That's good. I know, I'm quite happy. I'm literally gonna flip it around here in a second after I get the court going, and we'll see how it looks the other way. Because there's no tag, right? There was no tag in it. So it doesn't really have a front and a back. Um, it just seems ambidextrous, if you will. No, Melanie, but I will probably go back to that store. I don't know. I'm not a big shopper, but I'm a big bargain person. Okay, Harry Potter World. Do you want me to tell you about Harry Potter World? Hold on. I need another piece to tell you about it. Oh, shit. Oh, shit, you guys. It's a different dress. It's totally different, but like still cute. I am a Slytherin. I don't know how to explain that, and I'm feeling a little sad about it, to be honest. Um, Jake Michigan. Ooh, I did get a wand. I wonder if this. Oh, can you actually see the iron? You can't. Um, you like the brighter color, as in the yellow? I don't know. This one doesn't seem to make my boobs pop as much. I really like the box. It's so lovely. Nice big box. I'm gonna say this. I'm not a very good wizard or witch. Uh, Expecto Patronus. That's actually from there. But I really enjoyed carrying it around with me. I sprinkle magic everywhere I go, with or without a wand, when I meet people and talk to them, especially like hanging out in the lineups. So for me, this was like great. I was like pointing at people and like, have a good day. Just being myself in a weird way. Um, and we ended up meeting a really, really nice couple that was from Scotland, and we hung out with them for a really long time. And shout out to Bruce if he watches, because he did subscribe, and he did the most British thing ever. He was like, I'll subscribe and I'll even ring the little bell. And I think that's the first time in person I've ever had somebody do that, which is such a nice thing to do for a YouTuber. That's as good as you can get. But it was very, very sweet. So they were a lovely couple from Scotland. I could understand them, and we were beside each other in a line for like an hour. And so by the end of it, we got to hang out. I went on crazy roller coaster. I went on most of the Harry Potter rides, but oh, look what else the wand came with. The special mat. I think this is a glow in the dark, like black light mat. Anyways, uh, of Hogsmeade. That's what it was. Anyways, the Velociraptor ride from in the Jurassic Park area went it went over 70 miles an hour, upside down multiple times, over 70 miles an hour. It was nuts. I screamed the whole time in a great way, like in a very fun way, and had a blast. So I do have to say that was there. You solemnly swear that you are up to no good. My map, I got the password changed on it, Colin. Thank you for asking them. Mayor, welcome. Hello. I hope you're doing well. Honestly, I really enjoyed, at one point, there was this little girl who was nearby and we were watching something, and I could hear her say to her mom, I can't see. I can't see. And I said, oh, like looking around at all these adults, right? Just fucking adults as far as the eye can see. And I'm like, no, move, move. Again, using my wand. Out of the way, people. And she's like, what? And I just grabbed her by the shoulders and like pulled her up to the very front spot or to a spot where she could see and like move people away. And her mom was like, oh my God, thank you so much. I'm like, of course. What the fuck? It's a kid. I don't know why these stupid adults are all standing here like, idiots. Anyways, like I said, I sprinkle magic wherever I go. And she was just like enthralled at this, like, I don't know, I guess it was a hologram video or whatever that we were watching. And she was just so sweet. She kept looking over at me and then at her mom and like just wide eyed and just, it was beautiful. That's the kind of magic that is fun to see at an amusement park to me. A kid really believing in it and really being very happy to be there. That's sort of the coolest part about some of that. You know, when the kid like really believes in it and they're not just there, you know, because they live in the area, they go all the time or whatever. Like, you know, you just finished watching all the Harry Potter movies. Well, I've read all the books multiple times. And I have watched most of the movies. I think I've watched all the movies to be honest. Wingardium Leviosa. Leviosa? It's Leviosa. Something like that. Again, you have to imagine like I don't have any visual imagery in my head, which is why books are so different to me than movies of books. They just, oh, what's that spell that Dumbledore uses when he puts it into what is that bowl? The bowl. You know the one I'm talking about. Shh, shh, shh. No, it's not a cauldron. This is a special memory bowl that he keeps in his office, and he can pull out memories and put them in there. And then the pensive. Thank you, Jay from Michigan. And then other people can stick their heads into the bowl and experience the memories. Thank you, Colin, the pensive. Now, here's the thing. Y'all have a bit of a pensive in your head. I have none of it. So that is even more cool to me, the thought of being able to do that. I guess mine would be black. Ooh. Maybe that's why I'm a Slytherin. I don't know. Anyways, we do have some court to watch today, you guys. You don't have to watch the movies to enjoy the Harry Potter world, Melanie. I'll tell you, I've read all the books like because that was my age group reading them all. But we do have court today, and I know some people love him and some people hate him. However, praise to the magic gods, I guess. We have back with us fresh dismissal Dan. Ooh, let's see what he's going to dismiss today. Um, let's see. Actually, you need to give me a second while I gather the right thing. Bear with me for 1 moment, please. As you board the train, please keep your hands and feet inside at all times. Please note, there is no return service from Hogsmeade. I made that part up. I don't even know who said that. I did wait a long time for that ride, too. We know you're still Cherry. Is it Gary Busey? It's October 8th. It is from today. I'm excited if it's Gary Busey. Oh, okay. Hmm, not intermission. Not quite yet. There we go. Okay. I did not watch that, Vicky.
Are misdemeanors or felonies or a mixture of both. I'm also going to go over with you bond amounts if you are entitled to or eligible for a bond, and get that over to the sheriff's department. Just do not get yourself in any more trouble while you are there, and you will be good to go. Now, before I meet with everyone individually, we'll start with the females first, but I need everyone to please raise your right hand. All right. Do you swear or affirm that the statements that you make shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? You can say, I do.
I like believe you.
All right. We'll start with the female side first with Miss Baldwin.
Baldwin, right here. Baldwin, thanks. Brown. Baldwin's right in front of you.
All right. Miss Baldwin.
Hi, Walter.
All right, Miss Baldwin, you are charged with one count of criminal trespass. That is a misdemeanor. I am going to set a bond of $3,000. Okay. You do have a special condition of your bond to not return back to 83 Upper Riverdale Road, Southwest. So I don't know what's going on with you in that particular location, but they do not want you there. So please do not go back to that location, or you could have some really, really bad problems like I spoke about earlier. Okay. Do you understand? You have to speak up.
Yes.
Okay, very good. And the reason why I asked is because I don't want you to say, well, I didn't understand. That's why I asked the question, okay? Your next court date is going to be on October the 7th, but if you bond out, you don't have to appear for that court date. Do you want to proceed with be considered for a court appointed attorney, or do you want to hire your own attorney?
Court attorney.
Okay. All right. All right. I will grant that request. Do you have any questions, Miss Baldwin?
No, I know.
Okay. All right, Miss Baldwin. Good luck to you. All right. Let me get Brown. Give me just 1 second, please. All right, Miss Brown, you are charged with, looks like you were charged with one count of theft by receiving stolen property. Give me just 1 second. Let me pull your application here. Okay. Here we go. All right. That is a felony charge. However, I'm dismissing that count against you. The reason why I'm dismissing the case against you is because they didn't put a victim's name. So I don't know if that's actually your car or not. Additionally, there's no evidence that you knew or should have known that the vehicle was stolen. Now, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. I don't know. It ain't in front of me, so charges go away. Remember what I said about the charges being dismissed, okay? But as long as you don't get yourself in any trouble, which I hope you won't, then you'll be free to go in just a little bit, okay? They just gotta process the paperwork. Miss Brown, do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right, Miss Brown. Please don't come back.
I won't.
All right. Good
Don't
luck
you
to you.
come back no more, no more, no more. Is stream still not working?
All right. Let me get Miss Croft.
You know.
All right, Ms. Croft, give me just a second here.
Better fucking not be Lisa. I
All right,
paid
Ms.
money for
Croft,
that.
you were charged with one count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That is a felony count. I am going to.
Okay, just to be clear, I am running this through the Streamlabs program that I do every single night, every time. The one that I pay for. I'm as perplexed as you guys are why that's not working. I will go check one thing on my phone and see if that helps while we continue. Thank you, Arizona. Welcome. I didn't block them.
Grant a bond in your case of $3,000. Okay. Are you going to be able to make that bond?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Well, you don't have any other special conditions other than just to not violate the law anymore. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on November the November the 8th. Okay. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
A court attorney, a court.
Okay. All right. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions, Ms. Croft?
No.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Croft.
Your Honor.
Lowry.
Did you have a Banks on there?
Give me just a second. I might have them on the, let me see where my list is.
Larry Beaver, anybody? No Larry?
I had that, Banks was out to bond on an OR.
Yeah. Okay. Who you need next?
So that was on the roster that was sent to me this morning. So Ms. Banks, I don't know if you're in the process of bonding out, but it seems to me that you should be.
So you should get a project. All right, next.
Let's see, I have Blair is not active. So next is Lowry.
We're gonna do her last.
Who?
Lowry.
Why?
Last is the females. Last of the females.
No, I'm saying why do her last? She's right here. I can knock her out real quick.
Yeah.
Let me just go ahead and do this one real quick. It won't take long.
You wanna put him back in here? Who will put it back in there? It's the one that too.
Where's she at?
He's on her way, Your Honor. She's on the way up.
Okay. Is Saeed Habib there?
Habib.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, Lowry's on her way. I'll
He's
send
right
her.
here. He's right here.
Oh, okay. All right, Miss Lowry. All right, Miss Lowry, you are charged with one count of giving inmates providing prohibited items to inmates. That is a felony. Criminal attempt, conspiracy, felony, and crossing the guard lines, felony. I am going to grant a bond on the first charge of the prohibited items. The bond is $5,000. The other two charges $2,500 each. So your total bond is $10,000. You also have a stay away from 9157 Tierra Boulevard, Jonesboro, Georgia, 30236, which is the Clayton County Sheriff's Office. So do not step back on that property. Okay. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I don't know. It's the first time here.
You got to speak up for me.
I don't know. This is my first time going through this. I don't know.
Okay, well, you could either A, hire an attorney, Or B, I can look at your application and consider you for a court-appointed attorney. Either way, you can change your mind later on. So if you want a court-appointed attorney and you qualify, then you can change your mind later on down the road, but you don't need to leave today without somebody getting your paperwork on your case. So do you want to hire someone, or do you want to be considered for a court-appointed?
That's a court appointed.
Okay. All right. I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
What happens once I pay the bond?
As long as you don't have any other charges, you're good to go, and then you'll get your next court date in the mail.
Okay,
Okay?
yes, sir.
All right, anything else? All right, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Mhm. All right, let me get Saeed Habib.
What do we think that she did? Everybody want to take a guess? Also, hi, Billy, Debs, everyone who's just arrived. Thank you for being here. Make sure you've clocked in for your shift by hitting that like button. Super helpful and free way that you can help me out. Anyways, what do we think? What has this lady done? What has she done? Guilty. Vicky says guilty. What has she done? That's the question. Shoplifting. And we're in Clayton County. If we say Clayton County, I think it's 17 times Presto appears. Brought in cigarettes. Thief. Assault. Okay. I'm going with aggravated menacing. Aggravated menacing. Yes, it is next to Atlanta. It is a contiguous county, which means that it is touching to Fulton County, which is where Atlanta is, where Judge Manning tells everyone to stay out of. But yes, it is a contiguous county to Fulton County. Okay, I'm seeing drugs, DV, trespassing, contraband into the jail. No, this is a new one, Lisa. We're guessing. We don't know yet. Trespassing. Those are all good guesses. Okay. Okay. Shall we find out? Does anybody, I'm going to say, oh, meth from Michigan. Anybody else? Get in your bets. Get in your bets. No worries, Lisa. I made that. I did that on the fly. As I do. All right. I would say no more bets, no more bets, no more bets, ladies and gentlemen.
All right, ma'am. Can you tell me your name, please? All right. You were charged with one misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. The bond is $2,000. One misdemeanor count of use or possession of drug-related objects. The bond is $1,000. And then possession of fraudulent ID felony. The bond is going to be $4,000. So your total bond is $7,000. Okay. You do have a special condition to do not go back onto the property of 7342 Hanover Parkway North. Okay. Do not return back to that address. Your next court date is going to be on November the 8th. However, if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. Now, I noticed just based off the facts and the location that you do have a co-defendant, but it's not really a co-defendant. I'm not going to tell you to stay away from that person, but you probably should. And I don't know, maybe the cases aren't related, but it looks like they are. Either way, you should probably avoid contact with that person. Okay. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Yes, thank you, Melanie. It is indeed Canadian Thanksgiving today. I'm really becoming an American. Didn't even occur to me.
You're the court attorney.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you.
No.
All right, let me get Sullivan.
We're grabbing her now, y'all.
Everybody was pretty close there. Just did get the trespassing.
Come on, man, it's not Stacy. Thank you. That's what court's for. It's court. Let's keep going in front of it.
What camera?
Right here.
That's a screen. It's not a camera. Why?
Are you Miss Sullivan?
Yes.
All right, Miss Sullivan, you are charged with one misdemeanor.
Oh, Colin. Gary Busey. That's mean. But weirdly accurate.
Count of disorderly conduct. Your bond is $1,500, and one misdemeanor charge of criminal trespass to bond is $2,500. So your total bond is $4,000. You also have a special condition to not return back to 3581 Cameron Parkway. So I don't know what's going on with you in that location, but the people there do not want you back at that location. So don't go back, okay? You can go everywhere else you want, just don't go there.
Yes.
Your next court date is going to be on November the 7th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
A court-appointed attorney. I don't have any money.
I got you.
Is
Okay.
there any way to get a bond reduction since I don't have any money? I
Well-
can't afford that.
Well, my job is to, that is somewhat of a
Don't see bond
factor about,
reductions.
listen, that's somewhat already taken into consideration. I just have to make sure that my bonds are consistent amongst everybody, okay?
For a
So-
trespassing,
Huh?
4,500 for trespassing and what was the other one?
Disorderly conduct.
4,500 in Nashville. That's like DUI bond amounts. Are you sure that's right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, and that's fairly low.
4,500 for being at a motel. Don't disturb this judge.
Listen, the bond is set at 4,000 total.
Judge, I'm
Listen,
speaking to the judge
Don't-
about my bond.
listen.
Ask him if he's done.
Miss Sullivan, don't argue with the deputies. Don't argue with the deputies. They're not doing anything
Never
wrong
seen a
to you.
deputy come up and ask the judge if he's done.
Listen,
A black one.
Okay, you know what? I have to give her something here. I've said this time and time again about this court, and I'll say it still. I have utmost respect for corrections officers, but she's right. They interject in this court too much and over the line. And it's not that deputy's place to interrupt this proceeding, even if she's talking disrespectfully to the judge. They overstep in this court all the time. And I think she's unfortunately not going to get anywhere with this argument because of her position in life right now. But she's 100% right. I've said it time and time again. You can go back and watch any of the videos I've done about this. Whenever the deputies step in, it's concerning to me.
A white judge. I'm from Nashville.
Stop.
We don't do that.
stop talking.
They made me put my hands behind
That's
my
it. She's done.
There's no touch me. Oh my.
You're gonna pick up new charges if you keep it up.
What, sir?
Who's next?
What'd you say, Judge?
We're not with no contempt charge.
All right, let me get Miss Troutman.
If I'm overturning on white, I gotta be careful. $4,000. You're letting all these niggas put their hands up.
All right, Miss Troutman. If she's not quiet in the next 5 seconds, charge her with disrupting a court proceeding. All right, Miss Troutman, can you hear me? Okay. All right, Ms. Troutman, you were charged with one count of terroristic threats. Looks like that's a felony. The bond is going to be, I am going to set a bond of $4,000. One misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. The bond is $2,000. One misdemeanor count of simple assault, the bond is 1,000, and then one misdemeanor count of simple battery, the bond is 2,000. So your total bond is $9,000. You do have a special condition to not have any contact with Rashante Butler, okay? Also, do not return back to the 6430 Briarwood Court location. Your next court date is going to be on November the 8th. But if you bond out, you will not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Oh, you got to speak up for me, okay? Okay, I got you. All right. All right, Ms. Troutman, do you have any questions?
No.
All right, good luck to you, man. All right, and then you are Miss Wynn, correct? All right, give me a second, Miss Wynn, because I know I have your paperwork. Let me make sure I check you off my list. Yeah.
Oh, Debs, that's funny.
In just a moment.
Mary Beaver.
Oh, there you go. All right, Miss Wynn, you are charged with one count of aggravated assault, which is a felony. I am setting the bond at $30,000, and one count of criminal damage to property in the first degree. The bond is $10,000. So your total bond is $40,000. You are to have no contact with Sunday Thomas. So I don't know who that person is to you, but do not have any contact with that person, okay? Remember what I said earlier about getting yourself in more trouble with charges and bonds and things like that. Your next court date is going to be on November the 8th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions, Ms. Wynn? Okay, Ms. Wynn, good luck to you. All right, that's all the females I have.
Yes, sir. Judge, we have an inmate who inmate Spencer, who we would like to go first because he's wanted with fugitives. They would need to talk to him. So we were wondering if
Oh, yes. That means we're getting a fugitive around here. We're going to have to guess our state, ladies and gentlemen. Guess your state to where this fugitive is going to be extradited to. I am guessing Washington State. I'm putting in my Washington State guess. We don't get to see them. No, we don't get to know shit about them. You just make a guess. Indiana, Ohio, Tennessee, Florida. Florida near Orlando. Jay from Michigan's getting real specific. Remember, it can't be Georgia because this is in Georgia. Arizona, of course. Illinois, Indiana. Texas. Ohio, you need to hear them speak. That's sort of cheating. Illinois, I already said. Connecticut. I know how to say it. Any other guesses? I already said Washington State. That is my guess. That's what I've got. Jersey. There you go. That's a good guess too. Jukebox Cherry. Louth. I don't know if that's a good guess. Colin, you can, yeah, thank you. Don't guess. Okay, let's go. Let's figure it out. No more bets.
if he could go ahead first so we can get him out of here so he can go where he needs to go.
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me grab. You said last name is Spencer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's not a problem.
Okay.
Anyone else? Oh, I don't have a Spanish interpreter, so we'll have to
Okay, we just
continue.
okay, that's fine. Is it for Lopez?
I think so, yes.
Yes, sir. Okay, so we'll just send him back as well,
Yep,
but everyone else is in alphabetical order after Spencer.
okay. Cool. I'm pulling up Spencer's stuff right now. All right. Oh, well. Give me just a moment, Mr. Spencer. I'm just get your paperwork together. All right, are you Mr. Spencer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Mr. Spencer, you are charged with one count of armed robbery, which is a felony. I'm not even allowed to set a bond on that case, on that charge, so I can't set a bond. One count of possession of a weapon during commission of a crime, the bond is 10,000. One count of possession of a weapon under age of 21, the bond is 5,000. Cruelty to children in the first three, the bond is 5,000. So on the charges that I can set a bond for, your bond is 20,000, but on the armed robbery, I can't even set one. That has to be done by a superior court judge. Your next court date for these charges is going to be November the 8th for a preliminary hearing. Okay, that'll be your next court date for your prelim. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I'm probably gonna have to do a court attorney for now, but I'm gonna see if I can make probably get it.
Okay, that's fine. So we'll get the public defender's office your paperwork, and then if you change your mind, just have your attorney, if you're able to get one, just let them know that your next court date is going to be on November the 8th. Okay. All right, Mr. Spencer, do you have any questions?
Well, what you just said, can I find out or not? That's sitting here.
No, I can't set a bond on that one charge, so you could post bond on the other charges. You just can't post bond on the armed robbery charge. So what'll happen is at your preliminary hearing, or maybe before then, someone with the public defender's office or your attorney, they can try to get you a bond, but it has to go through a superior court judge. It can't be me. Okay. All right. Any other questions? All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Spencer. All right. We should be on Boykin. That's what I have first. All right.
That guy seemed local, but everybody's guesses are fucking in. That wasn't the fugitive, remember? They said fugitive, I swear to God. Anyways.
Guys, just make sure that you all speak up a little bit.
How you doing? I think I got it.
Yes, sir, Mr. Boykin, I'm all right. You are charged with one count of identity fraud. That is a felony charge. I am going to set a bond, and your bond is going to be $5,000, okay? You're to not have any contact with Milton Womack Jr. Now, you probably don't even know who that is, right? So it won't be an issue for you, okay? Your next court date is going to be on November the 8th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Most likely I'm gonna have lawyers, but right now, I can get a court-appointed attorney.
Okay. Let me see. 2005, so 18. Okay. You're not in the military or anything, are you? Okay, got it. I just wanted to make sure. Okay, Mr. Boykin, I'm going to grant your request. Just remember what I said. If you bond out, you don't have to go to that court date in November, okay? But you should let your attorney know that that's your preliminary hearing date, and you know they know what to do and file paperwork and stuff like that. All right. Do you have any questions? All right, Mr. Boykin. Good luck to you, sir. Let me get Baker. All right, Mr. Baker. You are charged with, looks like, one count of battery, which is a misdemeanor, and one count of cruelty to children, which is also a misdemeanor. I'm dismissing the charges against you. They didn't put a victim's name in here, so I don't know who you were alleged to have gotten it into with, but the common saying is no face, no case. Well, no name, no warrant. So now keep in mind what I said earlier. These charges could come back. I'm not saying that they will. I'm not saying that they won't. But that's a pretty easy fix if they want to fix it. I don't know if they will. But as long as you don't get yourself in any trouble and you don't have anything holding you, you'll be good to go in a little bit once the paperwork is processed. Do you have any questions?
No,
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Baker. Don't come back.
I won't. Thank you.
Don't
All
you
right.
come back no more, no more, no more, no more.
All right. Let me get Bishop. Marcellus.
Miss Bishop.
Oh, he's the one that has a different name. I don't know. Give me a second. Give me just a minute. Bishop. All right. All right. Let me get Bishop. Marcellus. Oh, he's the one that has a different name. I don't know. Give me a second. Give me just a minute.
We're getting them. We're getting them.
Oh, okay.
That's the stand to the right.
Yeah, Eric Holmes is his real name.
They'll see you. You stand right there, they'll see you.
Bishop, but his name Spence. What's his full name?
All right. Sir, what is your name?
Marcellus,
Hold on, you gotta speak up for me.
Marcellus Bishop.
Okay, Marcellus Bishop, we have potentially another name for you, Eric Holmes, but either way, you're before me as Marcellus Bishop. You were charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. I am going to grant a bond of $1,000. However, you do have a special condition to not go back to 6000 North Terminal Parkway, which is the Atlanta International Airport, unless you have valid travel documents. So unless you're getting on a plane to go somewhere, do not go back to the airport. Do you understand? Okay, I need a verbal yes or a verbal no.
Yes.
Okay. If you go back there, you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble. Okay. You can go anywhere in the world you want except there. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on November the 7th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Court appointed attorney? Okay. I'm just going to put here that you agreed on Zoom because you filled out your paperwork. You just didn't sign it. That's okay. All right. I am going to grant that request. Do you have any questions? Okay. All right. Good luck to you. Please don't come back and don't go back to the airport. You're good. All right. Yeah.
Yes, Carmine.
All right. What's your name, sir?
Carmine.
Hold on. I need Cazares.
Just doesn't work well. I don't
Ryan
know.
Hill.
There you are,
Yeah, Mayor. Good point. So, but that's not who we're guessing because Judge needs somebody else. It's like I knew that was going to happen. Judge has to have Cazares next for some reason. He has a real hard time going out of order. It doesn't fuck. It fucks up. Fucks him up.
Okay, there we go. All right, what's your name, sir?
Anselmo Cazares Rangel.
Okay, Ringo. Okay, got it.
Rainbow? Okay. So what did Rainbow do here? I'm guessing terroristic threats. I did not do a layover in Atlanta, no. I wish. They told me to stay to Fulton County.
Got it.
Right, you're guessing. I said terroristic threats, but I don't want to say it too loud. Drugs, possession. Lisa's guessing Beverly. Sweet. The Xbox works. Fleeing and eluding from Courtney. Trespass. Mayor sticking with possession. It does, Billy. It totally does. Arizona's guessing theft. What have we got? DV from Vicky. It's alphabetical-ish. I would call it alphabetical-ish. Debs. DV from Bev. I think he arranges them like it's like a triage. It's like alphabetical, but then they triage the emergency crazy first, and then it's girls first, boys first, or boys second. Jay from Michigan, I flew straight from Canada into Florida. I didn't do any transiting in the United States. I transited in Canada, and I pre-cleared US Customs in Canada. I did not even meet any TSA officers in the United States. I don't know if that's actually his system, but that's my theory is alphabetical-ish with a triage for crazy. Okay. Oh, and to be clear, I took one to that airport, that to that airport. I took 4 flights to get here. It was not direct. I just was in Canada. I went Victoria to Vancouver, Vancouver to Toronto, Toronto to Orlando. I traveled across the whole country first.
I didn't know if the G was pronounced or not pronounced. All right, sir, you are charged with all traffic violations, 1 misdemeanor count of driving under the influence, less safe. The bond is $5,000. 1 misdemeanor count of speeding. The bond is $2,500. 1 misdemeanor count of distracted driving, hands-free violation. The bond is $1,000. And then 1 misdemeanor count of reckless driving. The bond is $2,000. So your total bond is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 4, 5. Okay, $10,500. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on November the 7th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
I'll do a court appointed.
Okay. All right. I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, sir.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Let me get, hold on. I know, let me get Chambers. I'm going to have to put Carmichael to the side for a second. All right. Are you Mr. Chambers?
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Chambers, you were charged with 1 count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. That is a felony. I am going to grant a bond of $3,000. 1 misdemeanor count of violation of Georgia Controlled Substances Act. The bond is $1,000. 1 misdemeanor count of improper passing of emergency vehicle. The bond is $500. And then 1 misdemeanor count of driving off suspended license. The bond is $1,500. So your total bond is 3, 4, 5. Your total bond is $6,000. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on. I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions about your case? Yes, sir. So the total, you just want the total amount?
Yes, total.
Okay. Total amount is 3, 4, 5. Total bond amount is $6,000. So between $600 and $1,200 if you use a bonding company, that's general guidelines. Okay. Any other questions? All right, Mr. Chambers, get your license fixed because if you keep getting that charge, it's going to eventually be a felony.
I know it. Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. Let me see Carmichael for a second.
Carmichael.
I'm looking. Oh, Mr. Carmichael. I just have you're here on a probation violation. I don't have any committal documents for you, so there's no reason for you to have a first appearance. I don't have any documents for you, so I don't know why you are on today's calendar. This isn't a VOP calendar, so did you get a violation probation because you picked up new charges? Oh, okay. Well then, I'm sorry that they brought you over here, but I don't have anything for you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, no problem. Good luck to you.
Is the stream working?
All right, this should be are you Mr. Collins? All right, Mr. Collins, give me just a second. All right, Mr. Collins, you were charged with one misdemeanor count of disorderly conduct. The bond is 1,500. One misdemeanor count of obstruction of an officer. The bond is 1,500. So your total bond is $3,000. Okay. You do have a special condition of your bond. Do not return back to 6,000 North Terminal Parkway. That is the Atlanta International Airport, unless you have valid travel documents. So unless you're flying somewhere, don't go back to the airport while this case is pending. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on November the 7th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You are entitled to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court-appointed.
Okay. I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
All right, Mr. Collins, good luck to you. Please don't come back. All right, this should be, are you Mr. Franklin?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Franklin, you are charged with, give me just a moment. You are charged with, all traffic offenses. One misdemeanor count, well, let me make sure this is a misdemeanor count. It is, okay, one misdemeanor count of reckless driving, the bond is 2,000. One misdemeanor count of improper turn or failure to use a turn signal, the bond is 500. One misdemeanor count of driving on the wrong side of the road, the bond is 500. One misdemeanor count of crossing a divided highway, the bond is 500. One misdemeanor count of red light violation, the bond is 500. One misdemeanor count of failure to stop, the bond is 2,000. So your total bond is going to be
Honestly, Courtney. Debs, the thing is that airports in some towns are open. There's bags to steal. There's like a whole number of things you can do at the airport, nefarious purpose wise. But once they catch you, they pissed them. You know. But I have tried airplane spotting. I do enjoy that.
2 is 4, 5, 6. Total bond is $6,000. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on November.
Without a ticket travel. If they have a ticket to travel, they can go to the airport court. Like, that's the thing.
The 7th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Right now, court-appointed.
Court-appointed, okay. Have you ever served in the military before?
No.
Okay. All right, I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
Okay, all right, Mr. Franklin, good luck to you, sir.
How are you, bro? Are you good? You next.
Let me get Garrigan.
Yes. Yes.
All right, Mr. Garrigan, you are charged with. You're charged with one misdemeanor count of simple battery. Normally, bonds in these cases are a little higher, but from what I could tell, my understanding is that the other person involved is your daughter, correct?
Yeah. Yes.
How old is she?
She's 14.
Right. Yeah. So I took that into consideration. So I did set a bond of $2,000. Are you going to be able to make that?
No. Well, right now I ain't got access to my cell phone numbers and I can't call nobody.
I got you. Well, if you work that out, I'm sure somebody in the sheriff's office can assist with that process. I don't have any control over that. Okay. Now, your special conditions, you have special conditions do not have any violent contact. So what that means is, once you bond out, I'm not going to say you can't, be with your daughter. I mean, I've got a young child that's about to enter the teen years. I understand that, kids will drive you insane and things like that. But you as an adult, you have to find a better way to kind of deal with these situations and be a role model and things like that, because whatever you do, they're going to go out and do to other people. You know what I'm saying? So it's frustrating. I get it. Trust me. I've been there. And this isn't the worst thing in the world, but you see what can happen, right? Yeah. So no violent contact. That means no yelling, no screaming, no kicking, pushing. Don't punch holes in the walls and things of that nature. Like if you find, it's becoming overwhelming, just find a way to calm it down and then go back and address the issue once you're in a calmer mood. Okay, you understand? Well, I need a verbal yes or a verbal no.
Yes.
Okay, very good. And that's with Aya. I don't know how to say the last name, Orji. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on November the 7th. But when you bond out, you're not going to have to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Okay. All right, Mr. Garrigan, I will grant that request for you, sir. Do you have any questions about your case?
No, that's it. But I just want you, there's no way I can, do like the signature and.
I can't, like I said earlier, I assume that everybody wants that. And unfortunately, on this type of charge, I can't. I did take into consideration the circumstances and things like that. So I did set it lower than what I usually do. So I gave you that benefit, but that's what I've got for you. Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. I should have Glover. All right. Are you Mr. Glover? All right, Mr. Glover, you are charged with one misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. The bond is $1,500, and then one misdemeanor count of possession of drug-related objects. The bond is $1,500. So your total bond is $3,000. You do have a special condition of your bond to not return back to 7342 Hanover Parkway North. Okay, so don't go back to that location. Your next court date is going to be on November the 7th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to a court-appointed attorney, or you do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Let's go court-appointed right now.
You said court-appointed, is that correct? Okay. You filled out your application. The only thing you didn't do is just sign it. So I'm just putting that you agreed on Zoom. And I will grant that request. I know that there was a female. I don't know if she was taken into custody in relation to you or not. I don't know who's the bad influence on who, or if y'all just don't get along together, or when y'all get together, bad things happen. But I told her that, maybe y'all two shouldn't hang around each other. Again, I don't know your relationship. I'm not saying that you lawfully have to not hang around her, but just advice. You understand what I'm saying? All right, I've granted your request for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any questions? All right, good luck to you, sir. All right, let me get it on. All right, are you Mr. Hines?
Did
All right,
they fix the Griffin?
Oh, give me a second. Oh, they told me that they don't have any paperwork on him. Well, yeah, give me just a second.
Okay.
Because I emailed about that. Let me see. Missing documents, Travion Griffin. It says we could not find Travion Griffin's folder. So I guess he'll have to be seen tomorrow.
Okay.
Okay. All right, are you Mr. Hines?
Sir.
All right, Mr. Hines, you were charged with one misdemeanor count of criminal trespass. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm dismissing the case against you because they didn't put a victim's name, so.
Right.
More Big D.
No. Now, remember what I said about dismissing charges? They could come back later on and that's a pretty simple fix, but I'm not gonna tell them to do it. That's not my job. They should have done it to begin with. And I don't believe in technicalities. That's just the law, you know? It's a very simple thing for someone to put. They just didn't, so charges dismissed. As long as you don't have anything else that would hold you, you'll be free to go in a little bit. Just let us get this paperwork process and stuff like that, okay? All right. Do you have any questions?
I have one question. So my mom tried to pay for my bond last night, but she got scammed, and it was across the street from Anytime Jail Bond.
Mhm.
Gotta tell her to report that to me.
Oh yeah, I can't do anything about that, man.
Yeah.
You know, just hey, look at it this way: your mom got scammed, but I'm giving you, I'm like you're getting out for nothing either way. So you know. All right. Any other questions?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Hines. Good luck to you. Please don't come back.
I won't.
All right. All right. Let me get Jenkins.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Jenkins. Let me see here. Here we go. Mr. Jenkins, you were charged with one misdemeanor count of battery. The bond is $5,000. One misdemeanor count of cruelty to children in third degree. The bond is $3,000. I am gonna, you do have special conditions of your bond to not have any contact with Tamelia. I'm guessing that's how you say the name. Jenkins.
Yes.
So, okay, don't have any contact with her until your case is over with, or an attorney files a bond motion to modify the bond conditions, okay? And then also don't return back to 4735 Courtney Drive, okay? Look, you have a different address on your application anyway, so just don't go back to the Courtney Drive address, all right? Again, until your case is either over with or bond conditions are changed. Your next court date is gonna be on November the 7th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court appointed. So what's my total bond?
Total bond $8,000.
Oh, that's 800.
Between 800 and 1,600 approximately. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to grant your request for a court-appointed attorney. Do you have any other questions, Mr. Jenkins?
No, sir.
All right, Mr. Jenkins. Good luck to you. Don't come back. Let me get, Lopez is continued for an interpreter. So that should be Mora. All right. What's your name, sir?
You repeat that?
Yes. Hold on just a second, because there's a little bit of delay and you've got the mouth covering.
Get to the side.
All right. What's your name? You gotta speak up.
Carlos Moroa.
Maroa, okay. I didn't know if that was a typo because usually I see Mora, but Morora, okay. All right, sir, you are charged with one count of misdemeanor count possession of marijuana. The bond is $1,000. Next court date is November the 7th. I mean, are you gonna be able to bond out?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Next court date is November the 7th, but you don't need to go there if you bond out, okay? You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do? Okay. All right, I will grant that request. Do you have any questions?
No, sir.
All right, good luck to you, sir. All right, let me get Myers. All right, Mr. Myers, you were charged with one count of battery, simple battery, family violence, which is a misdemeanor. The bond is $2,000. Okay. You do have a no contact. To not have any contact with Takevius Myers. So until your case is resolved or until a judge modifies your bond conditions, just don't have any contact with them. I think that's your brother, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Look, I get it. It's kind of like I told the other gentleman, sometimes family drives you up the wall, makes you mad, makes you do things normally you probably wouldn't do. I understand. Relatively speaking, it's a minor thing, but you see it has severe consequences because look at where you are, right? But let this thing play out. Speak with your attorney, let them do their job for you. And I think that you'll be all right in the end. Also, don't go back to the 1466 address. However, listen, I am putting in here that you can get your stuff from there. Okay. Now, again, this is only until your either case is resolved or through your lawyer, you can file a motion to modify the bond conditions. This isn't personal to you. I have to do this in all the cases that involve these types of allegations where the people live together. Okay. Sometimes it's worse. Sometimes it's somebody that they get told to stay away from their own home and the person doesn't even live there. So I get it. It's frustrating. But again, just let get with the attorneys as quickly as possible. Let them do their job. Okay.
Yes.
The next court date is November the 7th, but if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Probably court appointed.
Okay. All right. I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions?
Not at the moment. No.
Okay. All right, Mr. Myers. Good luck to you. All right. Let me get Ogletree. All right. Are you Mr. Ogletree?
Yes, sir.
All right. So you are charged with one count of misdemeanor possession of marijuana. The bond is $1,000. You are also charged with one count of armed robbery. I can't set bond on that charge anyway, so bond was considered and denied, but I couldn't set it even if I wanted to. One felony count of possession of a weapon during commission of a crime. The bond is $10,000. One count of possession of a firearm while underage. The bond is $5,000, and then one count of cruelty to children in the first degree, which is a felony. The bond is $5,000. So on the charges that I could set bond for, the bond is 10 plus 10 is 21,000, but the armed robbery does not have a bond set. Your next court date is going to be on November the 8th for preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Can I say I don't know it right now?
Hold on, you gotta speak up for me, okay?
Can I say like I don't know at this moment, like not right now?
Well, here's the thing, right? You basically have three options, and you don't want to go into a preliminary hearing without a lawyer because what will happen is that will delay your case. Okay. I mean, you got co-defendants anyway, so that's already gonna, complicate things. But you don't want to leave here without somebody that's going to represent you on November the 8th. So if you say, I don't know right now, you're not going to really have an opportunity to figure it out unless you hire a lawyer. But if you hire a lawyer, that's fine. I think, if you say you want a court at a point, I can't speak. If you told me you want to be considered for a court appointed attorney, I'm going to approve it. If you change your mind and want to go and hire an attorney, they can show up on November the 8th. That's not a problem. But what I don't want you to do is leave here without a lawyer and it delay, your case down the road. So the real question for you is, do you want to hire your own attorney or do you want a court appointed attorney? And then if you change your mind later, you can. Okay, good. Yeah, these are very serious charges. So you're going to want somebody on them. Let me see something. Yeah, you're born in 06, so 20 minus 3, 17. Yeah, you're young, dude. You're going to need that. Okay. All right. I'm going to grant your request for a court appointed attorney. So your next court date is going to be on November the 8th. Okay. Do you have any other questions? All right, sir. Good luck to you. Let me get, that's part of Ogletree. Let me get Robinson. All right, are you Mr. Robinson? All right. Just make sure y'all speak up, okay? All right. Mr. Robinson, you are charged with
I told you guys,
one
if we
count
say
of
Clayco 13 times, Presto will appear. And I think we hit the max. Hi, Presto. I hope you're doing well, friend. We're almost done. You came with only 3 to 4 minutes left of this court. For this Sunday Court Watchers Anonymous meeting, I hope that you're doing well. At this point, folks, you can tell me what you're planning on having for dinner. Jonathan is off to the range with a box of fun things. I hope you're talking about feathers and lollipops, Jonathan. I'm just joking. Anyways, let's finish watching this and then we will say good night.
providing inmate with contraband. Here's the thing. I'm dismissing the case against you. The reason why I'm dismissing the case against you is because I don't have any evidence that you couldn't have a cell phone on your person. Now, this case could come back, and it may very well come back. It just required somebody to say that you weren't allowed to have it, but it just says that you have it. So I don't know if you are visiting the jail, you're an inmate in the jail, you work at the jail, but merely just putting that you had a cell phone on your person, that's not good enough for me. Okay. So maybe the charges come back, maybe they don't, but as of right now, I'm dismissing it. Do you have any questions about that? Okay. All right. Very good. Well, I don't know if anything else is holding you, but if it's not, you're free to go. And if it is, well, then you'll just deal with that on its own. Okay. All right. Good luck to you.
Big D's all over the place.
Royal. Get Royal.
Oil? Oil? Or Royal? What was the name we just said there? Hold on. Seriously. Royal or oil?
As well, then you'll just deal with that on its own. Okay. All right. Good luck to you. Royal. Get Royal. All right, Mr. Royal, you are charged with one count of driving without a valid license, misdemeanor. The bond is 1,000, and then theft by receiving stolen property, felony. The bond is 5,000. So your total bond is $6,000. Okay. Your next court date is going to be on November the 8th. But if you bond out, you do not need to appear for that court date. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court attorney.
Okay. I will grant that request for you. Do you have any questions about your case?
No.
Okay. All right. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Let me get Wilson. All right. Mr. Wilson, you were charged with one count of armed robbery. I'm sure that you already heard me tell your co-defendant I couldn't set a bond even if I wanted to, so no bond on that charge. Possession of a weapon during commission of a crime, the bond is 10,000. Possession of a weapon, someone under the age of 21, the bond is 5,000. Okay, wait, 10,000 for possession during commission, 5,000 for underage. Cruelty to children in the first degree, the bond is 5,000, and then possession of marijuana less than an ounce, the bond is 1,000. So your next court date is going to be on November the 8th. For your preliminary hearing. You do have the right to hire your own attorney or be considered for a court-appointed attorney. What would you like to do?
Court attorney.
Okay. All right. Mr. Wilson, do you have any questions about your case? Okay, all right, Mr. Wilson, good luck to you, sir. And then, let me see, that's Mr. Watson, correct?
That was Wilson. Anybody get the joke?
He's Mr. Watson. I have you out to bond, sir. Did you have somebody working on bonding you out?
Oh, yes, sir.
Okay, well, the roster that I got this morning said that you were already out to bond, so I don't have any paperwork for you. So I guess you just got caught in between bonding out and coming this morning. But I guess you should be getting out fairly shortly because I don't have anything. If somebody's working on it, it looks like they probably posted it. But again, you were just kind of caught in between. Okay.
Getting stuck in the crack? Is that what that's called?
Yeah. So he should be good to go. All right. That's all that I have.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, and guess what? I'm gonna make dream come true today. I will do some more court for y'all. You have to give me a minute. I'm gonna pause it and find something. So speak amongst yourselves. Make sure you've hit the like button, get a drink, go to the bathroom. 3-minute intermission, and we will be back.
This is from an inside.
Folks, thank you so much for your patience as we transition to the second act of the evening. Now, if you're just joining us, please go ahead and tell me what you had or are having for dinner tonight. If you don't know what you're having yet, or you wish you were having something different, tell me what that is. I want to hear it. Also, y'all are so funny. We're gonna watch a little bit of Bothell. I can't guarantee if there will or won't be a translator case. I take no rules on that. Wrong screen. But here we were.
This is, excuse me, Ms. McGraw. This is cause number 2A05678884. This is on for pretrial. We did submit to the court a statement of defendant on plea of guilty. This is as charged to 1 count of theft in the 3rd degree. This is from an incident date of December 22nd of 2022. I did have the opportunity to go over that document with her prior to the hearing this morning. She's indicating she has no additional questions at this time, and so we are prepared to move forward with that plea.
Right. Good morning, Ms. McGraw.
Morning.
I do have, and I'm just waiting for it to fully populate here. Let's see if I can't encourage that. I do have a document before me entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty with your name and cause number on it. It does look like you gave Ms. Pimentel permission to electronically sign this document on your behalf. Is that correct?
Yes.
Did you have a chance to read or have read to you this entire document prior to deciding to enter into this plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you have a chance to go over it in its entirety with Ms. Pimentel?
Yes.
Was she able to answer any questions that you had about it?
Yes.
Do you have any questions for me about the document?
No.
We're going to go through this together starting on page 1, paragraph 1. I need to confirm, is Nicole M. McGraw your true name?
Yes.
Are you 41 years old?
Yes.
Is the highest level of education you've completed the 10th grade?
Yes.
Paragraph 4 indicates the crime that you're charged with, that you intend to plead guilty to today, is 1 count of theft in the 3rd degree. The elements of that crime were set forth in the charging document you received in this case. Did you go through those elements carefully to make sure that they accurately describe the crime you intend to plead guilty to today?
Yes.
You also understand that those elements are what the city would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt in order to achieve a conviction at trial.
Yes.
Paragraph 5 sets forth the constitutional rights that you give up by pleading guilty. They include the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury in the county where the crime was alleged to have been committed, the right to remain silent before and during trial and to refuse to testify against yourself, the right at trial to hear and question any witnesses who would testify against you. You also have the right at trial to testify and to have witnesses testify for you. Those witnesses could be made to appear at no expense to you. You also have the right to the presumption of innocence. It requires a charge be proven beyond a reasonable doubt before a finding of guilt could enter against you, and you have the right to appeal that finding of guilt after trial. Do you understand that these are your constitutional rights and that by pleading guilty today, you will be giving them up in this case? I'm sorry?
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Paragraph 6 sets forth the consequences of your plea. Did you go through those carefully? I need you to answer out loud. We only record the audible.
Yes.
Did you make sure that the prosecutor's recommendation that's written in paragraph 6C, that it accurately reflects what they said they were going to recommend pursuant to the plea agreement?
Yes.
But you understand that as the judge, I don't have to follow their recommendation or anyone's recommendation.
Yes.
I could sentence you to anything up to and including the maximum allowed by law, which in this case would be 364 days in jail, a $5,000 fine, and 2 years of probation. And if I did that, that would not be grounds for you to withdraw your guilty plea. You understand that?
Yes.
You also understand if you are not a citizen of the United States, this plea could have immigration consequences.
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you go over all of these consequences with Ms. Pimentel?
Yes, Your Honor.
And Ms. Pimentel, did you discharge your duties pursuant to Padilla and Sandoval?
I did, Your Honor.
Ms. McGraw, has anyone made any threats or promises to get you to plead guilty today?
No, Your Honor.
I should say, other than the city's recommendation that's written in the paperwork.
No, nothing.
So are you doing so freely and voluntarily then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Paragraph 11 is a statement in your own words of what you did that makes you guilty of this offense. It reads as follows. On December 22nd of 2022, in the city of Bothell, Washington, I did wrongfully obtain various items from Home Depot with the intent to deprive Home Depot of the value of the items. Is that a true and accurate statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you adopt that statement as your own?
Yes, Your Honor.
Then to the charge of theft in the third degree as charged here under this cause number, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Guilty plea will enter. I find it's knowingly voluntarily made and that there is a legal and factual basis for accepting the defendant's plea of guilty. Does the city have anything to add to its recommendation?
Your Honor, this is a great recommendation.
Ms. Pimentel?
Your Honor, that is correct. She does have credit from prior bookings as well. It looks like she missed her last pretrial hearing. However, she had contacted the court. She had indicated she was in the hospital. And so she did indicate she was at least trying to communicate with the court. I think this is her only hold or her last hold at this time. So if the court does follow the recommendation, obviously she's on that deferral out of Edmonds. She will still have to complete those requirements as well. So I think this is appropriate given the lack of theft related history for sure. She did indicate she's not currently employed and is receiving state benefits. So if the court would waive any non-mandatory fines and costs as well.
Ms. McGraw, this is your opportunity to tell me anything that you would like me to take into consideration before I pass sentence. The fancy legal term for it is it's your right of allocution.
No, nothing.
All right. I do think this is appropriate and I am going to follow the recommendation. I will impose 364 days in jail. I will suspend 355 of those, giving you 9 days to serve, giving you credit for 9 days already served. I'll impose a $5,000 fine, but I'm going to suspend the entirety of it. And based on Ms. Pimentel's representation, I will make a finding that right now you are currently indigent and waive any non-mandatory cost, fees, and assessments. I say that as currently because I do have every hope for you that you will gain employment and that won't remain your state, okay?
Hopefully, yes.
But with that, I am going to put you on probation for 24 months. It's going to be monitored, not supervised. And the conditions are going to be pretty straightforward. We'll start with no contact with Home Depot, which kind of dovetails into the have no new criminal law violations for which there's probable cause. And I guess they probably trespassed you. So that's kind of saying the same thing twice there, because if they trespassed you and you go there, it's a new criminal law violation. But we're just emphasizing it. That's pretty much it. Keep your address up to date with the court, because if I think that I need to see you, I am going to require that you appear for any future court hearings. To know about that, you have to receive notice, and that means keep your mailing address up to date with the court. Okay. Other than that, really good luck with Edmonds. I know they have a great program there. And so I'm hoping that they will be able to help you along the lines to that employment and not needing to have that finding of indigency in the future, right?
Your Honor.
All right. Good luck to you. Take care.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Return to yourself, please.
Your Honor, I believe Ms. Kim's ready on Mr. O'Leary's matter.
Holding cell, I wasn't sure if you heard, if we could get Mr. Jura, or I'm sorry, Mr.
Mr.
O'Leary.
Yeah.
Mr. O'Leary.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
And, hello, good morning, Your Honor. This is Gabrielle O'Leary for cause number 380518682. He's going to change his plea to the theft charge under that cause number. I did go over the paperwork with Mr. O'Leary, including the rights that he's giving up and collateral and any direct or immigration consequences. I do believe he's entering into this plea knowingly, intelligently, and voluntarily.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. O'Leary.
Good morning, Your Honor.
I do have a document before me entitled Statement of Defendant on Plea of Guilty with your name and cause number, which is 3A0518 682 on it. It looks like you gave Ms. Kim permission to electronically sign this document on your behalf. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you have a chance to read or have read to you the entire document prior to deciding to enter into this plea?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a chance to go over it with Ms. Kim in its entirety?
Yes, Your Honor.
Was she able to answer any questions that you had about it?
Yes, very, she did very well.
Do you have any questions for me about the document?
I do not.
All right, we're going to go through this together starting on page 1. Paragraph 1, is Gabriel O'Leary your true name?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you 46 years old?
Correct.
Is the highest level of education you've completed the 12th grade plus some college?
Yes, ma'am.
Paragraph 4 indicates the crime that you are charged with, that you intend to plead guilty to today, is 1 count of theft in the 3rd degree. The elements of that crime were set forth in the charging document that you received. Did you go through those elements carefully to make sure that they accurately describe the crime you intend to plead guilty to today?
Yes, Your Honor.
You also understand that those elements are what the city would have to prove beyond a reasonable doubt in order to achieve a conviction at trial.
Correct.
Paragraph 5 sets forth the constitutional rights that you give up by pleading guilty. They include the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury in the county where the crime was alleged to have been committed, the right to remain silent and to refuse to testify against yourself, the right at trial to hear and question any witnesses who would testify against you. You also have the right at trial to testify and to have witnesses testify for you, and those witnesses could be made to appear at no expense to you. You have the right to the presumption of innocence. It requires that a charge be proven beyond a reasonable doubt before a finding of guilt could enter against you, and you have a right to appeal that finding of guilt after trial. Do you understand that these are your constitutional rights and that by pleading guilty today, you will be giving them up in this case?
Yes, sir, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
Paragraph 6 sets forth the consequences of your plea. Did you go through those carefully?
I did.
Did you make sure that the prosecutor's recommendation that's written in paragraph 6C accurately reflects what they said they were going to recommend pursuant to the plea agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
But you understand, as the judge, I don't have to follow their recommendation or anyone's recommendation.
You understand that. I'm very scared of that.
I could sentence you to anything up to and including the maximum allowed by law, which in this case would be 364 days in jail, a $5,000 fine, and 2 years of probation. And if I did that, that would not be grounds for you to withdraw your guilty plea. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir.
I also understand that if you are not a citizen of the United States, this plea could have immigration consequences. Did you go over all of these consequences with Ms. Kim? I'm sorry?
Yes, ma'am. I did.
The sound cut out for some reason.
Okay.
All right.
Or if you-
Has anyone made any threats or promises other than the recommendation from the city that's written in the paperwork to get you to plead guilty today?
No.
Are you doing so freely and voluntarily then?
Yes, Your Honor.
Paragraph 11 is a statement in your own words of what you did that makes you guilty of this offense. It reads as follows. On July 25th of 2023 in Bothell, Washington, I took a product from Home Depot without paying and with the intent to keep it. Is that a true and accurate statement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you adopt that statement as your own?
Yes.
Then to the charge of theft in the 3rd degree as charged here under this cause number, how do you plead?
Guilty.
Guilty plea will enter. I find it's knowingly voluntarily made and that there is a legal and factual basis for accepting the defendant's plea of guilty. Does the city have anything to add to its recommendation?
Yes, Your Honor, this is an agreed recommendation, and pursuant to this plea, the city is moving to dismiss count 2, criminal trespass 1.
All right. Thank you. I will grant city's motion to dismiss count 2. Ms. Kim.
Your Honor, yes, it is an agreed recommendation. Your Honor, he has credit when he was first booked in July for 7 days. So if Your Honor follows the agreed recommendation, he should be released from it. The reason for recommending closing is because he has a pending felony out of Snohomish County, burglary 2, as well as he's being held on an Everett theft case, and there's a warrant out of Marysville. So he should be facing some consequences down the line. So that's the reason for recommending closing the case with that conviction. I ask Your Honor to follow that. Given that also that he asked Your Honor to find him indigent, he's not working right now and does receive government assistance.
All right. Mr. O'Leary, this is your opportunity to tell me anything that you would like me to take into consideration before I pass sentence. Fancy legal term is your right of allocution.
The only thing I'm trying to do is my mother passed away recently and my father is soon to pass. I need to get well. And so I'm trying to get to walk across the street from the Snohomish County Jail and walk into a rehab facility is basically what I'm trying to do. So as soon as I can get out so I can get to my father and spend some quality time with him is kind of my best recommendation. Other than that, I will stand with your gavel. Hopefully not.
I'm
Mhm.
looking here and I'm seeing the recommendation here for 10 days. I was looking at the theft history and it kind of looks like, and really and truly, it's something that has started. Well, there's one really old one back in 2002, but other than that, it's all been in the last few years.
Correct.
Uh,
Since my brother died, and we were best friends, and we owned a company together, and things just went haywire.
drugs,
Yes,
which is your drug of choice?
combination of fentanyl and meth.
It's a tough one to kick.
It is.
You got a lot of stuff going on. Why do I see you're in Snohomish County garb, and I see a warrant out of Snohomish County Superior Court.
I was in jail when I was supposed to see you, actually, and so I was so bummed out. I got booked on the 25th, and I was supposed to see you on the 26th, and they were supposed to take me downstairs. I guess I don't know. It's a long story. I don't want to waste your time. You got all the records there.
Well, Superior Court doesn't always like chatting with us lowly municipal court individuals, but
Gotcha.
it looks like that warrant issued in July, and that on the 1st of September, a notice of appearance and request for discovery was entered by an attorney, I believe, on your behalf, but it doesn't even specify who that was. Have you been seen by Superior Court yet?
Yeah.
Okay. You got arraigned on that, maybe?
Yeah, and I have a bail order.
Okay.
I got PR'd on one, and I got a bail order on another. It's just it's $1,000, so $100 bail.
It's just not entered yet in the system, which is not surprising, quite frankly.
Yeah.
So you have Mary's bill still pending.
Yeah, I'll have that quashed.
Okay.
Good contact with them.
Mr. O'Leary, you've got, you're like this, right? You got on one side, you've got stuff going on with your family that's sounds pretty significant. On the other side, you've got that horrible temptation, right?
Mm.
I'm really hopeful that that you have made that decision, because I can sit here, I can hold you in jail, I can require you to go to treatment, I can do all kinds of stuff, but if you're not willing to do it, I'm just, barking at the wind, right? It's got to be your decision. But on the other hand, if you have decided to do it, there's a lot of resources out there available for you that can help you get it done. What I'm being told is to basically let you use the resources up in Snohomish County, not worry about keeping an eye on you. That's basically what the attorneys are telling me. Is that basically what you're hearing too?
Yeah.
All right. Mr. O'Leary, I hope for your sake that this is a moment in your life when you're going to make that change. Sorry, that phone. That you're going to make that change, because it's time. It really is. You went down a path at a moment of really extreme stress that has led you into probably not the life you envisioned when you were a kid, right?
I'm from Bothell, for God's sakes.
Yeah.
Born and raised, and I was an outstanding athlete and student athlete, and exactly what you just said. I'm embarrassed.
It's not a matter of being embarrassed. Let's just get you back on track. I'm going to say a couple of things. I have talked with a number of people. First off, I've been in the criminal justice system for over 30 years.
Still muted? Muted when I put the screen up, when the court goes back up. And then it's unmuted now. Strange. That one's never happened before.
So I've seen a lot. You have an opportunity to make a change. You said you were a business owner with your brother. I tell people about the individual that I am acquainted with who is in one of the local, not in Bothell, but in another local city. He's been a pillar in the community. Owns his own business, vacations with the mayor, hangs out with all the movers and shakers, right? Despite his murder conviction from a drug deal that went bad. All right. What I'm saying there is I'm trying to let you know your past does not have to define you.
Thank you.
Move forward. Okay. Take the opportunities. You've got some opportunities here. Don't go to where he was. That was I mean, a huge amount of his life given up. And quite frankly,
Quite frankly, can you hear me now? Because quite frankly, I'm more worried about the mayor that's going to dinner and vacationing with the convicted murderer.
opportunity to have a family, all of those things, because he was in prison during that whole time. So move forward.
Thank you.
With that, I'm going to stop because the bat phone went off and because
The phone. Okay, what I was trying to say was this story Shells is horrible. She always tells this weird story about the guy who was an unaliver who then vacations with mayor. And I want to write her a better story that she can use to actually inspire people, because it's not inspiring at all. It's confusing. That's a confusing, inspirational story. It's barely inspirational at all. Who wants to vacation with the mayor? What?
the attorneys will probably go crazy if I go into any more examples. I've got a ton of them, though. You want to chat about it? Come back over by the courthouse. Stop and say, Judge, I'd like to hear those stories.
I sure will. Thank you.
You don't have to. Trust me. I understand I'm not your favorite person to talk to, especially not right now when I'm wearing the black robe. So 364 days in jail, 354 days suspended, giving you 10 days to serve. I will give you credit for any time served on this matter, including your prior bookings, which I understand is 10 days served. $5,000 fine. I'm going to waive the entirety of the fine. I'm going to make a finding that you are currently, right now, at this moment in time, indigent, and waive any non-mandatory cost, fees, and assessment. I emphasize that part because I expect that you are going to get back on your feet. You get this burden under control. You are going to get back on your feet and you're going to move forward. But right now you don't have a whole lot. And quite frankly, and I apologize, I shouldn't have said suspended because I'm not putting you on any probation. I'm going to let you deal with this in Snohomish County, but I do really hope that it works out for you. Okay.
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
Take care.
Thank you.
I'm going to take a brief recess to call the officer and remind him of the appropriate way to contact the court. So hang on.
What? Why would you do
Can you
that,
hear me?
Judge?
Christian,
Christian is not available. Would you like to leave a message and I'll
He's
get
reconnecting to
him?
audio, it looks like.
I'll just chat him.
Do to begin with, dumbass.
Who we have here, this may be Mr.
That's Mr. Barker, Your Honor. We're on for review. We're ready to go. I'm sorry, not Barker, Baker. Excuse me.
Baker.
I know that.
This is cause number 38030 on for active probation review. Mr. Smith, did you have an opportunity to go over the evaluation submitted by Mr. Silcox today?
I did, and we've discussed that, and I think the city has something to say at this point.
Your Honor, the city is actually in agreement with Mr. Silcox's recommendation. However, it appears that Mr. Baker was booked, I want to say on the 30th. I think he has 6 days credit at this point, and he's just shy of the 10 days in close if you were to be given good time. So the city is not opposed to credit for time served and close on this case.
And Your Honor, we have no objection to that.
I can't do anything at this particular point in time. Is your client admitting the probation violations?
I'm sorry, Your Honor. Yes, of course. We're going to admit those violations at this point for this hearing.
All right. And the city's recommendation is to 10 days and close. Is that correct?
Yes,
Your
Your
Honor,
Honor.
Just to clarify, I think it would be credit for time served. If he does 10 days, he'll be held another day. I don't think with good time. So I'm not opposed to credit for time served and close. I believe it's booked on the 30th.
Mr. Baker, this is
Yeah.
your opportunity to tell me anything that you would like me to take into consideration before I make my determination as to what the sentence should be.
No, I'm pretty sure I'm in agreement with you guys on this.
What was that?
I'm in agreement with you guys on this.
You're in agreement?
Yeah.
Why should I only impose 10 days in jail when your original sentence was 30 days? What's going on? Why should I think that 10 days is going to have any impact?
Did his lawyer just say, don't answer that? I'm pretty positive his lawyer just said, don't answer that. Hold on.
I'm in agreement with you guys on this.
You're in agreement?
Yeah.
Why should I only impose 10 days in jail when your original sentence was 30 days? What's going on? Why should I think that 10 days is going to have any impact?
I don't know. So what I talked to you about with my lawyer.
What you talked about with your lawyer?
Yeah.
Your Honor, what he's talking about is I was going to try to do some kind of jail time with a closing of probation and or of the case, and that's what the city was thinking about already. So we've discussed that.
Mr. Baker, what assurances do I have that you're not going to just end up back in trouble again?
Is
Tell him about your housing.
Yeah, I got housing.
You got housing where?
My uncle's house.
Okay. That's a good start.
Yeah.
Mr. Baker, what else is going to keep you out of trouble and not coming back to court with new charges? That's what she wants to know. What's your plan? You live with your uncle and do what?
And I'm going to work.
Elaborate, please.
Yeah. And I took a blanket when I was stuck outside, and that's like I keep my nose pretty clean. I try to, like all my mess or all my theft threes are like just misdemeanor, like little misdemeanor petty thefts. So
Mr. Baker, the judge wants to know what you're going to be doing to keep out of jail in the future. All right. Let's start with you have housing now and go ahead.
Yeah, I have housing and trying to do better in my life.
What kind of work are you planning on doing?
Volunteer services.
So you're going to volunteer, or you're going to get a job that pays?
A little both.
Okay. So here's my concern, Mr. Baker. I don't want to see you back before me, right? I don't think this is the best and most happy time of your life, right?
Yeah.
So what I'm concerned about is if I just say, okay, you didn't do anything I asked you to do, you got new criminal law violations, I'm going to give you 10 days and send you on your way. And then you come back before me. And what's going to happen then? And what's going to happen the next time? You talk about petty thefts, but petty thefts can be the difference between a company staying in business and going under. So, when you tell me, yeah, it's just this, well, it depends on a lot of factors. If everybody says it's just this, that company goes out of business and everybody working there now doesn't have a job. The people who had the business don't have jobs, don't have income. There's a lot of impact from that. So the question I have is, there's a couple things going on here. One, you said you took a blanket. You understand that there are places you can get a blanket for free, right?
Yeah.
Actually set up to provide those things, so you don't have to go into a business and just take a blanket, right?
Yeah.
Because that's, like I said, could be the difference between a whole bunch of other people being on the street too, right?
Right.
So you got a place to stay with your uncle. That's great. You got the possibility of some work. That's also great. Now that we've talked, you know that I'm not going to be super sympathetic if you say, well, it was just petty theft, right? Because I've explained to you how that can have a pretty broad reaching impact.
Yeah, no, I know I was wrong. I messed up, so.
Well, and I'll tell you, I hear that from people, and sometimes they mean they messed up like they shouldn't have done it, and sometimes they mean they messed up because they got caught. So hopefully that's not what you're thinking, all right? No. I don't want to see you back, Mr. Baker. I want to see you going on down your life, not having to worry about cops and definitely not having to worry about judges, right?
Okay.
So don't do it again. Because I'll tell you, there's that, I get the cases where like the guy does it like, and the guy standing next to him in the aisle's an off-duty cop, right? You think you're gonna get away with it and boom, right? Don't take that chance.
Okay.
All right. I will follow this recommendation. I will impose 10 days in jail. I will give you credit for any time served and close the case. Okay?
Thank you.
Take care. Good luck to you.
Mr. Baker, you're lucky. You should be out at midnight.
Okay. Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Next matter that we have that's ready to proceed. Mr. Smith, you have something else?
I have one other matter, Your Honor. If I could just have a few minutes with him, I'll be ready to go. I apologize for not being ready, but I'm almost ready.
Is he in custody?
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Do we have any other in custody matters that we can take that are ready to go before we take a break? Or is this?
We can address non-transported matters.
All right. So while Mr. Smith is in.
Ms. Malmberg was in court and
Hi, Dodie.
Transported.
On that, and
it looks like this is
all right. So someone at the holding cell. So Mr. Smith, are you ready on your matter? Mr. Smith?
Mr. Smith, are you okay?
Did we lose Mr. Smith?
He's reconnecting to audio, Your Honor.
Your Honor,
We're waiting.
if we could
Courtney
finish the
McCrowley.
I'm sorry. Two people were speaking. Madam Clerk?
I was just gonna say, if we could finish the last two cases, I don't have any documents from Mr. Smith or Mr. Jura.
Okay. So then let's go ahead and continue with the individuals that did not appear. I think the next matter is the did we address Ms. McCraley already?
Your Honor, no, Ms. McCraley is the next matter to address. That's 21-69. This is a post-disposition matter, so it's on for review. The allegations are 2 new criminal law violations. I did have an opportunity previously to speak with her. I've also spoken with the attorney that's been assigned to the Everett District Court case. We had anticipated her appearing this morning. I don't believe there was enough space for her to appear, but my understanding is that, and again, in speaking with her and speaking with her attorney, is that she was hoping to admit to those violations today. She has roughly 15 days credit for time served, which I believe was the city's recommendation. And she would like to put this behind her. If the court's willing to do that without her presence, I can make that representation, obviously, as an officer of the court. If not, we would need to set this to tomorrow, but hopefully make it a priority to have her transported.
All right. Unfortunately, I think that the Supreme Court's been pretty clear that she needs to be here on review hearings. So I will set the matter over to tomorrow, and we'll ask transport to make it a priority to have Ms. McCraley transported for tomorrow. Next matter, go ahead.
Kristen Richmond, it's also a new booking, 3A07233045.
And I did have an opportunity to review the police reports, did make finding a probable cause. What is the city's request?
city's asking to hold Mr. Richmond on $5,000.
All right. And I assume Ms. Pimentel, you'll reserve argument.
I don't have any additional information on Ms. Richmond.
So set bail is requested in the amount of $5,000 and allow that defense can reserve any argument on bail.
And the last matter is Mr. Taylor, also a new booking, 3A06211756.
And I did have a chance to review those police reports to make findings of probable cause as to both charges. What is the city's position?
And the city's asking to hold him on $5,000 as well. I believe he has some significant DUI history.
There's 3 prior DUI allegations, one which was amended.
Listed already in case he's a danger to the community without driving without an IID with the 3 DUI arrests. Has a conviction out of California. Disorderly conduct while intoxicated, marijuana for sale, felon conviction, and he has an outstanding warrant, he says, out of Doylestown, Pennsylvania, it looks like.
All right, based on on all of that information, then I will set bail. You asked for, I'm sorry, how much?
$5,000, Your Honor.
$5,000 bail on Mr. Taylor. Okay, and reserve argument for defense. All right, I think that concludes the in custody calendar. Ms. Pimentel, thank you for being here. You're free to leave if you wish.
Thank you.
Mr. Smith, I guess, Madam Clerk, have we received documents with regard to Mr. Jura?
Your Honor, excuse me for interrupting. I have just received the plea form, which is, I'm afraid it's going to need a great deal of, I don't say a great deal, it's going to need some back and forth with myself and Mr. Smith. It's not adequate in my opinion, so I don't know how much time we're going to need.
All right, so I'm going to take a recess then, and we'll be back hopefully in.
We'll be back hopefully tomorrow, maybe tonight, folks. That's the way it's going to be. I hope you've had a wonderful evening. for the thoughts on the dress. I love it too. Only $3, $2.99 USD. Gotta love that price. Anyways, guys, listen. I really love you so much. I appreciate all of you. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Remember, I love you, proud of you, and I will see you later / tomorrow. Bye. You guys are too flattering. I love you all so much. And you know what? Go have fun on the Discord. I might pop by. Don't hold me to it, but you all have fun in there. Bye.